Hello everyone and welcome back to Angels franchise. It is officially time for year number 3. And the way I see it with the moves we made in this past offseason, we've opened about a 2-year window for this Angels team to try to make a playoff run. We've got Alonso under contract for the next 2 seasons, and that was our biggest free agent signing. That will also be probably about the remaining time frame for Trout being really a viable starter. The way I see it, we have these 2 years to let some of these younger guys develop, see if we can't push for the playoffs, and then after 2 years, that's when we go full youth movement. And with that, I want to show you the top prospects list. We actually have the number 2 prospect in the majors in Andre Dolan, but he is probably minimum 3 years away from the show. I do wish that this top 100 prospects list focused a bit more on players that are actually ready for the majors, like the number 1 guy, Mariano Velasco, rather than guys with just very, very high potential, like Orville Samuel, for example, has some of the best potential on the team, but he's a 51 overall. To me, this is not a top 10 prospect in the majors for like another 3 seasons, at which point he'll have that A potential, but be in the mid 60s in overall ideally. But according to the majors, the Angels do have 3 guys in the top 10. And here are our top players in the organization, and we'll kind of talk about them one by one before we get the season underway. So Andre Dolan is the big man lefty pitcher. He will start the season at single A for now. Needs to work on the hit and K per 9 as well as the pitching clutch, but it is nice to see that he has elite stamina and a decent walk per 9 to start, which often will aid in the development of a pitcher. Richie Batista is our number 2 prospect, another closing pitcher. He will be the primary closer at Double A this season. It's kind of going to be a battle between him and Jason Emerson to see who becomes the true number 1 closer on this team. It looks like Batista might have better strikeout stuff, so I'm sort of starting to lean towards him. Then we have Orville Samuel, the outfielder. Already a pretty good fielder, wish he was a little bit faster, and he's got balanced batting numbers. They're just very, very low. He's only a 51 overall. It's going to be quite some time before we see him. He'll be at single A probably for a couple of seasons until he hits about 60 overall. The guy I really think would probably be our number 1 prospect if this was organized in a way that made sense is Eric J. He has B potential. He's already a 66 overall. He's a decent fielding third baseman already. He is going to be at Double A this season, and I think he's really only maybe 2 seasons, maybe even only 1, depending on how development goes, away from making it to the majors. He projects out as a big power bat, and that's definitely what we're going to focus on with him to bring power to the lineup. Reggie Jenkins, who was listed as our number 1 prospect last season, will once again be at single A. He started in the 40s in overall last season. Now he is up to 50. Once again, just a long ways away, but with elite potential. Jason Emerson, I did mention before, he will be the closer at AAA this season. Very balanced, very good player already. You might see him at some point this season at the majors. Dave Williams is getting closer and closer to being ready for a major league debut. He is a 69 overall, needs to work on the K per 9 and the pitching clutch a bit more, but is getting very, very close. He's another guy where in a couple of seasons, he will probably take over after some contracts start to expire. Nicholas Diamond, our draft pick from last season, is a 73 overall. He will be at AAA this season. The really major concern for him is that home run per 9. He's going to give up the long ball constantly, but it looks like he's going to get a good number of strikeouts as well. And then of course there's Ricardo Perez, who might become a more long-term first baseman rather than a catcher for this team. We've got Logan O'Hoppe on a long-term contract now, and with trading away Shawnuel, we do sort of need that new first baseman of the future. I think that could be Perez, but I obviously think that we would be looking for somebody maybe even a little bit better than him. At worst though, he is going to be a pretty good platoon guy that can play first and catcher and probably just be a career backup. There's Vance Honeycutt. We traded for him. He's a 66 overall with B potential. It's very low 80s potential truly. Probably 2 more seasons away from being major league ready. And I feel like it's starting to become more and more likely that I trade away Christian Moore. Main concern with him is that he just doesn't play any secondary positions. So with him at second, no secondary positions, and Neto at short, no secondary positions, just kind of limits us a little bit more than I would like. But a lot of these guys probably about 2 seasons away from being major league ready, which only helps my case of having about a 2-year window upcoming for the Angels with these new signings like Pete Alonso. But let's get this season underway, shall we? It is opening day at Angels Stadium as the Angels will take on the Astros to start the 2027 season. A very new look roster. It got a lot older over this offseason, but it is ready to push for the playoffs this year with or without Mike Trout. Shane Bieber, the big pitcher acquisition from this offseason, is the new ace of this Angels team. Went 14-10 last season with really good ERA and WHIP numbers. And Luis Arraez has found his way to the Astros. Might be some new faces on this team this season, as we will kick this one off with a pitch from Shane Bieber. And we're underway in 27, and Arraez, as he often does, gets a single to get on immediately. Jeremy Pena to the plate. Bieber grounder, Alonso onto Neto, and Neto throws it into the crowd. That might have killed somebody, had some heat on it. So it's going to be a force out at second, and then an E6 on the first attempt from Neto. Does not bode well from him, as he struggled a lot last season. That also advances the runner to second. Now it's Yordan Alvarez, a very scary man. Bieber's got him 1-2. Can he get him with the strikeout? He actually hacks at that slider. That nearly gets through the infield. Neto will not have a throwing error this time. Alvarez goes down. Runner on third, 2 gone. And it looks like the Astros have added Adolis Garcia to the team. So they've gotten a little bit stronger this season. Their core is a bit older than a lot of other teams in the majors, so it does kind of make sense that they're maybe going all in for one more season at the very least. That one is rifled at Ryan McMahon, and he cannot come down with it. So the error from Neto is going to lead to a run in the opening frame for the Houston Astros. That double play would have had this inning over, but instead it's 1-0. So unfortunate for Bieber, his defense already letting him down. This is hit well the other way, but Joe Adell playing in right will track that one down, and it's the end of the top part of the first. We'll face off against Kodai Senga today. A down year last season, 4.64 ERA, a 1.5 WHIP with a losing record, but we know that he is a more than capable starting pitcher. Willie Castro will be the leadoff man against righties this season. Facing off against Senga to start the day, swings through the forkball. Castro is on contract through 2029, so we've got him locked up for 3 more seasons. Pitch on its way from Senga, fouled off. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Middle. Castro couldn't make contact. Timing was good in the bottom left. He just missed. Trout, the number 2 man, can he not tear an ACL this season? If he does, once again, we'd be 3 for 3 on seasons in the series. And Mike Trout torn ACLs. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Trout is out at first. Joe Adell batting third again this season. Pitch from Senga. He's going to hit that. Is that going to get through the infield? Stopped by the shortstop, and Adell is out at first. What a play made. And 1, 2, 3 go the Angels. Anthony Volpe. I forgot he was on the Astros. Got traded in year number 1. Jose Altuve leads off in the second. He is down to a 76 overall at the age of 36. Probably not too many seasons left for Altuve. Bieber's pitch is going to go opposite way. Should be no problem for Castro. Out number 1. That one is rifled at Alonso. Fry is gone. Randall Grichuk is the man at the plate now. Looking for the third out of the inning. Does not chase the slider. That is actually going to stay fair. Bouncing over the bag. Adell will chase it down. Gets it back in quickly. Going to second is Grichuk, and he is safe with a double. Volpe now, the 9-hole hitter. Everyone's making contact on Bieber so far, and nearly another error from Neto. I'm not loving the arm accuracy from him so far. Alonso digs it out of the dirt, and we are out of the inning. And here comes Pete Alonso, the big free agent signing this offseason. Angels moving off of Nolan Shawnuel, deciding to go with the big-time power bat, the veteran, Pete Alonso. I am messing around with cameras in today's episode, so if it keeps changing inning after inning, I apologize for that. I immediately am not a huge fan of this one, as Alonso a little bit taller. But he's going to crush it deep to left. That is a moonshot from Pete Alonso. And the first home run of the new season comes from the free agent signing, Alonso, with his first bomb. 1-1. The Angels tie it up. And now the former Rocky Ryan McMahon to the plate, traded for before the season started. He will draw his first walk. McMahon is a loaner, so he is only on contract through the end of this season. Could be somebody we look to deal at the deadline. Maybe get some assets instead, or if we truly are making that push, maybe we re-sign him to a shorter sort of 2-year deal. And now it's Logan O'Hoppe. Took some significant strides last season. Grounder to short. He's going to line up the 6-4-3 double play, but he's safe at first. O'Hoppe, not slow, beats out the throw to first. That brings up Zach Neto. Look at his numbers from 2026. Just really, really poor from him. Had a very good 2025. And then a horrendous 2026. Looking to get back on track this season. Sees a pitch from Senga at the top of the zone. He swings underneath it. Swing and a miss on the fastball below the zone. Strike 3 for Neto. Heston Kjerstad, another guy we traded for before the season started. He is going to be the left fielder this year. Big shoes to fill, replacing Taylor Ward. Had a solid season with the O's last year, but has sort of been replaced on that team. Looking for a new home, but this time he will strike out. Back to the top of the order for the Astros. Grounded to Castro, and Rise will go down to a grounder. That one is going to get through the infield. Adele in right. As, oh my goodness, I thought that was an errant throw as I was trying to get it into second, but no, Neto just was not covering the bag. This one has potential for a double play. Castro, Neto, Alonso. As we've got a bunch of O's in the infield, I just realized. Castro, Neto, Alonso, and McMahon, the odd man out. Chase DeLauder getting to be the starting center fielder, at least to start this season. He's maybe not entirely MLB ready, but we want to give him the opportunity to shine. He is now 25 years old, and we really need him to turn into that starter we know he can be. As Senga will get him to swing and miss on his first plate appearance of 2027. Castro popping this into left field. That's going to be out number 2. And then Trout goes down swinging yet again. So 3 solid innings for Bieber so far, as he's just not getting the run support. That was a hanging curve that he is lucky did not get hit further. And another one that's kind of left hanging. Adele is not going to be able to get there. So that's going to be a single for Diaz. Runner takes off. O'Hoppe trying to gun him down. The throw is not great, though. Bit too far to the left of Castro for a tag to be made, and that is a stolen base for Diaz. As Altuve swinging in the mud, playing some golf out there. I don't even know if that passed the plate. I think it bounced before, but that is a strikeout for Bieber. Swing and a miss from David Fry. And we get through the top part of the 4th. 4 good innings for Bieber, yet to allow an earned run. The only run allowed came off of the error from Neto. Adele will go down on strikes, as it's a pitcher's duel here in Anaheim. On to the top of the 5th. Bieber still in, missing badly with that slider. But he gets him to swing and miss on the fastball. That's hit well to right center field by Anthony Volpe, but DeLauder is onto it, out number 2. Grounded, that is fair down the line once again. Arise always finding a way to get on base, it appears. This is hit well to deep left center field by Jeremy Pena. Arise likely going to score from first. Pena on to second. Neto's throw not in time. And it is 2-1 for the Astros. Ball 4 called on a pitch right there. Should have been strike 3 looking on Yordan Alvarez. Bieber getting a bad call, and the inning will continue. And now it's Garcia. And Garcia will get this through the infield. Adele's throw going to need to be perfect to get Pena out, and it's not going to happen. 3-1 Astros. Should have been out of the inning with the strike 3, missed by the ump. What can you do? It's part of baseball, I guess. Bieber starting to struggle here in the 5th. That is grounded to short. Neto onto Castro at second. And that'll end the top part of the 5th. But the Astros will retake the lead, now up 2 runs. And the Angels only have 1 hit on the day. Logan O'Hoppe, a perfect, goes straight to Anthony Volpe at first, but ball don't lie, he throws it into the dugout. It's an E6, and O'Hoppe will reach on an error. A perfect that's just grounded softly to short. That just hurts my feelings. Neto will strike out yet again, And my struggles with Zach Neto continue. 9th strikeout for Senga. I am not seeing him well at all. Chase DeLauder will walk. 2 gone. Runner on second, runner on first. Back to the top of the order. Ball 4 to Willie Castro. Bases loaded for one of the best to ever do it. A shell of himself at this point, coming off of 2 torn ACLs. But now is the chance for Mike Trout. Trout will swing and miss on a perfect pitch. High inside fastball. I mean, what do you do against that? Brutal. Shane Bieber's day has come to an end. It's Jack Kahanowicz's turn. He's kind of the 6th starter in the rotation this year. And our primary long reliever. He will face Jose Altuve as his first pitcher of the season. Swing and a miss on the sinker. Kahanowicz has still got it. That one is not going to get past Alonso. Really good help there from Willie Castro, who definitely could have picked that up faster than Alonso did. We still get the out at first. Another one at Alonso. Having a busy day at first, makes another play. Ends the top of the 6th. They need the bats to get going. Houston makes a pitching change also. It's now Sir Anthony Dominguez. So might have a better chance against a non-Kodai Senga pitcher. All 4. Adele will reach. Full count for Pete Alonso. The pitch swung on and missed. Still nothing doing for the Angels bats. Kahanowicz will continue into the 7th. Adele on for this one. Grounder from Arise. 2 hits on the day for him. Not going to have a third. Kahanowicz would walk Pena. Now faces Alvarez. They're being patient. That's hit very well into the outfield. Adele will not have to throw to third as Pena holds up at second. Grounder on to third. Rymack throw to first. Gets us through the 7th. Still just the 1 hit, which was the Pete Alonso solo shot for the Angels. Ohapi, grounder to third. Not picked up cleanly. Ohapi is still out at first. You can't make it up. We have the option to challenge here. Well, I want to see the replay first. And that is very close, but I think it's the correct call. I think he's out. Ohapi had a perfect earlier that was grounded straight to short. Neto, 1-day hit, pops it a mile high into left. And the Angels bats outside of Pete Alonso are really struggling. Kerstad will get a base hit. So finally the 2nd hit of the day for the Angels. Comes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And Houston immediately will change pitchers to face Chase DeLauder. Josh Hader comes out to face DeLauder. DeLauder gets one right down the middle, a slider. Very weak contact, though. Less than 85 off the bat. 1 to hit. Probably should have crushed it, but missed it. And now we're going to see Jose Quijada come into the game. Had a not-so-great 2025 for us. Was a lot better in 2026. We did decide to extend him. This is popped to right. Adele been pretty busy today. Makes another grab. Swing and a miss on Altuve. Goodness, that was way below the zone. Ball 4 to David Fry. Just missed, and he would not chase the fastball. This is hit to center, but playable for DeLauder. And we're through 8. Onto the bottom half of the inning. Willie Castro looking for his first hit of the season. Facing Josh Hader. And Castro will walk to first to lead us off. Mike Trout opposite way. This is hit pretty well. Still going back. It is caught on the warning track. I thought Trout pushed that one opposite way over the fence to tie us up, but he just missed it. Adele on the hit and run gets this through the moving second baseman. Hit and run works to perfection, moves the second baseman over to the bag, opens up that lane for Adele, hits it opposite way. Runners on first and third now for the Angels, and Hader is being pulled. Brian King is the pitcher now, facing off against Pete Alonso, the man responsible for the only run so far today for the Angels. Grounder up the middle. Oh My God, we're getting doubled up on the play of this pitcher's life. That is some absurd fielding I just saw. Thought for sure we had at least another run. Spinning snag to the glove, and Alonso gets doubled up. Just insane. Sometimes you just can do no right. That should have been a base hit. Instead, we're still down 3-1, top of the ninth. Chase Silseth comes in. First batter he faces is Volpe. And O'Hoppe makes the grab on the pop-up behind the plate. That is cracked by Arise. 111 off his bat. Adele will try to get this back in quickly, but it's going to be a stand-up double for Arise. His third hit on the day. Doing what he does best. He gets on base. He gets hits. As now he faces Pena. Pena somehow gets a piece of that. Castro will get the speedster out, 2 gone. We're going to intentionally walk Jordan here. Would rather face Garcia. Hopefully he doesn't make me eat my words immediately. Silseth gets him to swing past the slider. And that is right at Alonso, but active hands makes the grab. We're on to the bottom of the ninth. The Angels need to walk it off. Ryan Abreu is the closer for Houston this season. He's going to get his first opportunity in the first game of the season. And it starts with Ryan McMahon. Need 2 runs to force extra innings. That is hit opposite way, but right to Volpe at short. That's going to be another error for Anthony Volpe. McMahon reaches. That's the second player to reach for us on an error from Anthony Volpe. George Valero will come in to pinch run for Ryan McMahon. O'Hoppe strikes out on the circle change. Right there on the corner. Couldn't foul it off. So now a double play would end the game. Neto will get this past the infield, but will that get down for a hit? No, it will not. Pops to center. Kerstad, one of the few men to get a hit today. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Can he send the Halos fans home happy? Well, that's a convenient ball call. He misses the fastball. My timing had to have been good. I was going to say, that felt so good, and he just misses the contact. It should be tied. How does he not crush that? And instead he gets plunked on the next pitch. So, I mean, he gets on, but goodness, should that not have just been a home run? Now Chase DeLauder, the most inexperienced man on this team. Maybe the worst bat on the team with a chance. That's a strike call. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Abreu. And DeLauder pops this to left. Need it to get down, but it's not going to, and the Astros will take the victory in the first game of the season. Just could not get the bats going for the Angels. A little bit unfortunate to see with all of the new acquisitions that we have made, with players coming back like Trout, with Neto hopefully having a better season, but unfortunately just could not do it. Only 3 hits all day today. Ends up being a loss for Bieber on what I thought was a pretty solid performance. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, the 2 earned runs, 3 total runs. Gave up 8 hits though, so he was giving up quite a bit of contact. Kodai Senga was insane. 11 strikeouts. We were just not seeing that forkball in particular. Game number 2 of the series, we'll be doing a player lock with Mike Trout, trying to get his season going here in the early parts of the year. And it is Jose Soriano on the mound for the Angels. 0-0, bottom of the first. Trout for the first time today. Oh my God, that's a meatball. I need to be more patient. Oh, okay. Well, I got another one. He says, don't mind if I do. I missed the first one. He's not going to miss the next one. Trout with a solo shot here in the bottom of the first to start his season. So even with all the regression he has seen in the first 2 years of this franchise, he has still retained a lot of power, especially against righties, which is actually really exciting, because if he does stick around, if he falls below 80, he might still have a good amount of power, which is always useful to a baseball team. 1-0 Angels. Well, scratch that. It is 2-1 to Houston, bottom of the third. Trout looking to do it again. Swing and a miss on the knuckle curve in the dirt. The thing about playing with a DH is that it goes by fast because you don't have to play in the field at all. As it's still Javier in the bottom of the sixth. Another pitcher's duel. 2-1 for Houston. Trout will keep that one fair, and he's headed to second. No, he's going to stay at first. I forgot that I have to control him heading to second, but he's safe anyway. Joe Adele with a chance to bat Trout home. That's going to be in the dirt. We are not running on that. No chance. This is grounded to second. Trout will reach third. So Adele advances the runner. And now Pete Alonso, the 4-hole hitter. 0 for 2 today. This is well struck. Deep to left. Did Alonso get another one? He did. It's out of here. A 2-run shot for Pete Alonso. And the Angels will take the lead. We've got a lot more power in the lineup, adding Alonso. Trout coming back from injury. So far, the only runs so far this season for the Angels have all come off of the long ball. Trout 2 for 3, bottom of the second. Runner on second, runner on third. As that will get down in the infield, throw home. I don't know why he goes there. Kjerstad, what are we thinking, pal? Gets knocked down at third. Trout is safe. I believe that'll technically be ruled a fielder's choice. So now it's up to Joe Adele to try to bring a runner around, extend the lead for the Angels. This is past the first baseman. Trout rounding second, heading to the third. Will the runner score? He will. He is safe. That's Chase DeLauder scoring from second, and Adele getting an RBI in this one and extending the Angels' lead. Now it's Pete Alonso once again. Of course, I think has 2 hits so far this season, both of which are home runs. Can he get a third? Pitch on its way. Alonso will walk instead. Bases loaded for Ryan McMahon. Could blow this one wide open. McMahon, that one into right field. That's going to score Trout. And they tag. What a tag. Adele gets tagged out despite the throw being up the line. And it's only 1 more run scoring for the Angels. But hey, we're going to take it. I don't love the fact that the base running is so stupid for this Angels team, but it is what it is. 3-run lead. And it's Ben Joyce looking for the final out against David Fry. First win of the season coming up for the Angels, hopefully. 1-2 pitch. Joyce, grounder to third. Diving play from Ryan McMahon. Throw on to first is in time. And that's part of why we brought him in. He brings some really great defense to the corner of the infield. And the Angels take the victory over the Astros in game number 2. What a snag by Rymack. So a good day for Trout. 2 for 4, a home run, a double. We will take it. Moretta ends up getting the win. 1.2 pitch, no hits, no strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs. It's like he was never there. So Trout ends up scoring 3 runs in this one. Kjerstad with a couple hits. Castro yet to get a hit so far this season. And Neto got his first hit. It's, of course, still just only the second game of the season. Don't want to overreact to anything. Not a horrendous performance from Soriano, but not an elite one either. 2 earned runs through 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, a couple walks. Soriano is a guy I actually think we should bring up this season. We did extend him to a pretty sizable deal earlier in the series. I'm starting to wonder if we should use him in some type of trade, maybe this year or next year. The thing about Soriano that I don't love is just the lack of stamina that he has. And also because his C potential is below his overall, he is still regressing. While it's very, very slow because he continues to play pretty well, 81 is his absolute maximum, and that stamina is getting worse. Stamina in the 60s is generally going to mean that he can't make it much further than a 5th inning, which I know in today's MLB is actually pretty normal, but I don't know, call me a traditionalist, but I kind of like that pitcher that can go 6, 7 innings into a game. Well, we got the season going for Mike Trout. Let's see if we can do the same for our star shortstop, Zach Neto. John Means will be the pitcher for today. Had good numbers, even great numbers. Last season was our best pitcher for sure. Let's see if he can continue that as the number 3 man in the rotation for the Angels in 2027. Zach Neto, of course, coming off of a horrible year last year on a pretty cheap contract for the next couple of seasons, but is going to want a pretty sizable one coming up. I mean, he's an 86 overall. His maximum potential right now is 87. So he is pretty near just the player he's going to be for most of his career. He's really good against lefties and then not so great against righties, which is a little concerning as your everyday shortstop, and he is a pretty solid fielder. When the series started, I sort of thought of him as kind of the future superstar of this team, and while I do think he's a star, I definitely don't think he's the superstar. He's a quality infielder that we love having on the team, and hopefully he can pick it up, have a year more like he did in 2025, but I think truly what we need to find for this team this season, next season, whenever it happens, is a true just #1 superstar type of guy, because Trout is obviously no longer that, and I don't think Neto is ever really going to be that. And we've got some guys down in the minor leagues that could become that, but they're quite a few years away. Neto looks at a pitch in the dirt. Lots of things to think about with this Angels team. We, of course, want to make the playoffs this year. We hope to be a playoff team with this new roster, with the new pitching rotation. Neto swings at one below the zone this time. Opposite field for Neto, but it's basically right at the right fielder. And that is out #1 in the second. Kerstad with an RBI triple. Castro with a single. Goodness, we got a lot of runs scored. It's 5-2 for the Angels, as the offense is starting to explode a little bit here in games 2 and 3 of the series. Can Neto get involved here in the bottom of the third? Oh, I should have swung earlier. 0-2 from Hunter Brown against Neto. Another one that's fouled off. Timing was good again. Neto well struck. He's a little early on the swing. He's headed to second, but that's going to be tracked down right in front of the warning track. And his struggles continue in the first few games of the season. Interesting thing about Neto is that he was incredible in spring training last season, had a horrible regular season, and then was horrible in spring training this season. So I'm kind of hoping that he'll have a great regular season if the pattern continues. Alonso, another homer. Neto, will this one finally get down? It does. Opposite way for Zach Neto. He gets a single. Had to work a 3-0 count to get that done, but we'll take what we can get. 0-2 for Heston as he grounds this. A little chopper played by the pitcher. Neto will get to advance to second. Now it's Chase DeLauder, also batting a 111, which is what Neto was batting before that most recent hit. And he strikes out looking. Not great from DeLauder. Want to do more player lock this year. I feel like I have been lacking on the player lock so far in this series. On to Castro and on to Alonso at first. Grichuk with a 2 RBI single. Ben Joyce looking for a save here. Could get him a double play to get out of it. Rounder is to second. Neto, a jump throw. That's ambitious, but he gets it done. Just did not need to do that in the slightest. But hey, he's going to make the highlight reel for it. Angels take another victory over the Astros, 2-1 now in this series. It is a 4-game set here to start the year. Win for John Means, that's what I'm talking about right there. Not a single walk, only allowed 2 earned runs. Went through 7 innings, only 5 hits and 3 strikeouts. Really good day from John Means. Pete Alonso continues to be absolutely incredible. 3 hits today, and he's up to 4 home runs. He had 2 homers in this one. Him and Adele are both batting a 455. Kerstad also playing well, batting a 364 so far, and Castro is struggling at the top of the order. We do end up splitting the series with Houston. Going into this game, by the way, Alonso had a 2000 OPS. I don't know if he actually was able to get a hit in this one. He was not. So cooled off quite a bit. I want to say like all but one of his hits so far has been a home run. He has 4 through 4 games, but the season has officially kicked off. And so let's start simming a little bit more and get to the first set of scouting. Series win over the White Sox, as is expected at this point. Angels 4-3 to start the season. And now a series against Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Got a broken ankle for one of our AA players. He'll go on the 10-day for now. And it is the first day to set scouting assignments. So we do have the number 11, number 51, 88, 118, 148, and 178 picks. So that number 11 might be a little bit harder to find a true high quality player than obviously being in the top 10. But we found Eric J, who would have gone a lot later than we drafted him. So maybe we can do that again. And that presents the question, I mean, what are the team needs at this point? A new second baseman for the long term would still be nice. We of course got Eric J. He will obviously play at third. He plays the left side of the infield. So we need a future second baseman. I don't know if that's Christian Moore, but he is in the system. I'm never opposed to getting outfielders. And then I actually think we're starting to look pretty good on starting pitching prospects. Obviously, I think adding another 1 or 2, maybe not the worst idea, but at this point, I think we're trying to find that first baseman of the future. Pete Alonso is around for a couple of seasons. He's getting older. I don't really plan to keep him past these next couple of seasons. So finding a new first baseman of the future, hopefully like a true superstar type of player, I think is really what we're after. And the best available first first basemen are Pablo Tejera and Fernando Arellano, and they both might be available at that number 11 pick. There's also the number 12 ranked player in Daniel Enright. So these are the guys that we're going to want to figure out early on, and all three of them are 18 years old. Daniel Enright immediately looks like the worst of the bunch. Big time contact for Fernando, and then Tejera looks like he's going to be good at literally everything, but of course haven't done any scouting to this point. But the first thing I'm going to do is just immediately scout these first basemen with Kevin Velez, our top scout, and just see how good the three of them are. I think Pablo Tejera might actually have potential to be generational. Remains to be seen. So we're scouting Tejera, and then we've got our other two discovering prospects for now. I'll probably only do this for maximum 2 weeks, where I've got two guys discovering, and then we'll just start scouting by position with our pitcher scout. Series loss versus the Dodgers. We're back down to 500, and now it's time for a series against the Mariners. Shane Bieber, second time on the mound for him. 0-1 to start the year, though. Not really his fault. Just did not get any run support. I've switched the setting on player lock so that now we can watch this sim screen, and I just watched Shane Bieber give up 6 in the third. We're doing a player lock with Chase DeLauter. 6-0 for Brian Wu and the Mariners. Chase DeLauter looking to get his season going a little bit more. Another rainy day here in Anaheim. This is going to get past the third baseman down the line for DeLauter. He's on his way to second, and with good speed, it's going to be a stand-up double for the rookie center fielder, Chase DeLauter, with a double. And Willie Castro bring him around. Is this hit deep enough to tag up? Well, DeLauter's going to try it. Throw on its way, and he's plenty in time, and the throw is also slightly offline. One more like that, maybe from this man, Mike Trout, and we'll have a run on the board for the Angels in the bottom of the third. Trout looks at strike 3, though. That is just such a bad take. Here's Joe Adell, off to a good start. Still looking for that first home run of the season for him, though. Pete Alonso, by the way, has really cooled off since the red-hot start against the Astros. Has not played nearly as well in the series following. Adell going to ground out to second, and no runs will score for the Angels even after the leadoff double for DeLauter. So the sim continues. Silseth checks in. 3 up, 3 down. Another run comes across for the Mariners, and man, this one feels kind of over, to be honest. Luis Ariz is on a 17-game hit streak to start the season for Houston. DeLauter opposite field again. And this one is going to be a fly out to left. Okay, the bats are getting going for the Angels. We got 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Gave up another one in the top of the 6th. And Wu is still going against DeLauter. Bottom of the 6th, 8-3. Angels need a crazy comeback. DeLauter got one day hit. My timing's good again, and he just missed it. That should be a long ball chase. Well, now we're into the 8th, and he is still 8-3. DeLauter 1 for 3 on the day. I mean, we'll take that. It brought his average up. But he's had a couple nice ones to hit, and he just keeps getting underneath them. That one is off the mark, but Neto will hold it first. Another decent one to hit, and DeLauter just a mile underneath it again. Pops it to center. Starting to wonder if this kid maybe isn't quite ready for the show. And it's a loss for the Angels against the Mariners. A horrible showing from Shane Bieber in his second appearance. Maybe the weather played a factor. I don't know. It is pouring rain. 6 earned runs on 6 hits. He did have 4 strikeouts, only went 2 1/3. We didn't struggle to hit the ball. Everyone got a hit in this game. Willie Castro with 2, Ohapi with 2. Just couldn't get the runs around, I guess. Silseth with a really good 3.2 innings in relief. He did give up 2 more earned runs, though. Here's DeLauter's attributes. Admittedly, the contact, the power, it's not super MLB ready, but the kid is 25. Might need a little bit more time to cook down at AAA. Not a ton of options in terms of bringing somebody else up, though, except for like Sam Hilliard, for example, who is starting to regress down at AAA, or just allowing George Valera to play a little bit more, and his bat is a bit better, but is obviously worse as a fielder. We'll give him some time, though. He might figure it out. Angels win 7-5 over the Mariners, and the Mariners win 7-4. 11-1 victory over the Athletics in a game where Logan Ohapi popped off. 3 hits for him. Joe Adell still batting a 280. Ryan McMahon's batting a 326 to start the season. Pete Alonso's gone cold, but does have 5 home runs to start the year. And Mike Trout, yet to get injured, is playing all right. He does have a 400 OBP. DeLauder struggling, but does have 2 homers. A loss to the Athletics as we continue to just hang out right around 500. Time for some more scouting. So we've got Tejera 55% scouted. He has dropped to our rank 35. We're going to scout him for 1 more week, get him to fully 100% scouted. Sometimes they'll drop in your draft rankings until they are fully scouted. His present and future attributes still all look very good. And here's some guys that we discovered, including Jonathan Hanks. Jumps to our draft rank 26. Obviously don't know anything about him yet. Alexis Valenzuela jumps to our draft rank 46. Is not ranked. A lot of these not ranked guys, you love to see it. And a second baseman in Ramon Gonzalez mostly just looks like a speedster. Looks like he's going to be absolutely terrible. Another loss to the Athletics, and this is not the start I wanted this team to get off to. We are 7-9, still time to turn it around, but we are 23rd in batting average. Our best batting average early in the year is a 286. We're worse than the Rockies in that department, and the guy who's leading is a former Rocky. So it seems like in particular it's the bats that are struggling to get going early in the season. Most of the pitchers have still only had 1, maybe 2 starts. Soriano already with 19 strikeouts. Quijada has 21. He's been playing a lot in relief, it looks like. Detmers is really struggling initially to start the year, as is Bieber. But Bieber did have 1 good start and 1 bad start, so gotta let things even out a bit. And Kahanowick's coming out of the bullpen has not been good thus far, but it's still just way too early. Got to give it more time. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. I'm getting ahead on videos. I'm way ahead on UConn videos, and I am using today to record to get ahead on Angels videos. So hopefully significantly more regular uploads coming very, very soon. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I'm in sort of a very transitional period in my life, and I just appreciate the continued support. Shout out as always to the channel members. I appreciate your support. Shout out as always to the channel members. You guys are the reason I can continue to make these videos. And if you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. I'll see you guys in the next episode. We'll get deeper into year number 3.